Hi, my name is Alexandria Mainwald, and today I'm going to be talking about emergency operation plans and emergency plans with large events, what they are, how they matter, and the key components to how they are effective. In an emergency operation plan, or an EOP, there is a document that outlines an organization and the purpose of an EOP. The purpose of an EOP is simple: to coordinate an effective response that protects the lives and property and essential services. Creating an EOP involves identifying hazards, assessing risks, and determining the responsibilities of different agencies and departments that are involved. One article to note is that a template is provided to elaborate on the emergency plan. However, we have found that there is no tools to support to facilitate the elaboration of emergency plans by the emergency planner, and that is from an article by Cantos in 2013. And that is a major challenge in planning. So a lot of these organizations must build these plans internally to make sure that the communication, the evacuation, the resource management, and the recovery strategies are clearly defined. A major part of developing an EOP is understanding what risks exist. Hazard analysis and risk assessment is what we're going to be talking about. Hazard analysis identifies the events that may impact a community and evaluates both their likelihood and severity. Some of these hazards may fall into categories such as natural, like storms, floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, or technological, power failures, chemical spills, or human cause, like terrorism or an accident. Risk assessments are also required looking at vulnerable areas such as weak and fractured at-risk populations and essential facilities like hospitals or schools. In 2017, there is a disaster risk management document that stresses the importance of integrating risk and understanding and reducing into border planning. Strengthening in the text, it states that strengthening the policies, strategies, and instruments for risk understanding, risk reduction, and disaster management by Gison del Rizzo and Manzales, 2017. Another one, quote, is that we also have to prioritize vulnerable populations such as older adults and those with disabilities, White Lewis, 2024. And all of those point out that the cities now have to change their plans and make them better to help the people who can't get themselves out of their house. Like, for example, an elderly person during a hurricane might have flooding in their house, and if they are wheelchair bound, they might not be able to get out of their house safely during a flood. Overall, all of these risk assessments ensures that we know what could happen and who could be affected so we can prepare effectively. The core elements of an EOP. Every emergency operation plan relies on several core components to function effectively. Number one, the clear operational procedures. These outline how an organization will respond from the moment a warning is issued through recovery. Concept of operations. This selection explains that the chain of command, decision-making processes, and coordination between agencies. The Incident Command System, the ICS, is commonly used to ensure unified and leadership. And then number three is communication planning. And one of the most essential elements is how agencies talk to each other, how they alert the public, or how alerts reach the public, what backup systems are in place. This could be radios, mass notification tools, and backup cell networks. Number 4, resource management. This covers identifying and distributing resources like shelters, medical supplies, staffing, and equipment. Number 5 is evacuation and shelter plans. If you look at any building, they will all have their own shelter places and evacuation plans. EOPs must lay out evacuation routes, shelter locations, and accommodations for people who cannot evacuate on their own. Number 6, collaboration and coordination. Effective response requires a strong partnership among first responders, government agencies, healthcare providers, and community organizations. And as Lopez in 2012 explained, emergency management includes human, technical organization, and information elements working together. Number 7 and last one is accessibility and equality. Plans must include vulnerable populations like older adults, people with disabilities, and those with language barriers. This ensures that there is equal and accessible places and for people during disasters. Training and exercises. Even the best plan might be useless if no one knows how to use it. That goes with any plan that we have. Training ensures that everyone understands their responsibilities and can act quickly during a real emergency. Exercises may be simple as a tabletop discussion or complex stimulations to test the evacuation routes, communication, and resource coordination. Ford and Schmidt, 2000, highlight why specialized training is essential. Emergency response tasks are unique because of the uncertainties. Emergency response training programs must prepare responders to promptly detect the onset of an emergency and respond effectively. Page 196. EOPs should be reviewed at least once a year and updated as new threats emerge, leadership changes, weaknesses are discovered throughout the exercises. This plan is to have a living document that evolves over time. Life changes, everybody knows that, and that means every plan is going to change. As the world evolves, new technology emerges, but there needs to be a plan and that it can change over time to adjust to everything. In conclusion to the emergency operation plans that are crucial for ensuring communities can respond and recover from disasters. So to recap, a strong EOP must have clear communication and coordination, identify hazards and vulnerabilities, identify roles and responsibilities, ensure equitable and inclusive response, uses training and exercises to improve over time, and by investing in planning and coordination and continuous improvement, organizations become better equipped to protect lives and restore normal operations after a crisis. And now we're going to move on to the large events. Large events could be concerts, festivals, sporting events, conventions that bring a lot of excitement, but a lot of significant risks. These risks include crowd behavior, public health issues, infrastructure limits, and security concern. For example, during COVID, there was a lot in 2020 that had to be controlled. How many people were allowed in a building, how many people could be allowed outside near each other, the 6 feet rule, and that is the public health issues that can come with it. A strong plan begins with a detailed risk assessment, and this includes evaluating severe weather, security threats, medical emergencies, and technology failures. Planners also may consider the venue layout, the expected crowd size, environmental conditions, past events and past incidents, and collaboration with emergency management, public safety officials, and venue administration to ensure an accurate hazard analysis and a stronger mitigation strategy. In large events, almost every multiple agency is included, such as law enforcement, fire departments, EMS, public health, private security, and event staff. The Incident Command System and Unified Command provide the framework for these agencies, and they work well together and share objectives. As Caldwell 2012 explains, few are covering all bases, able to handle an incident efficiently and effectively, minimizing any damage and learning lessons. Unified Command allows agencies with overlapping responsibilities to make joint decisions about resource allocation and response priorities. Regular planning meetings, joint training, pre-existing agreements build trust, ensure everyone can work together smoothly during an emergency. And now we're going to talk about communication styles and information sharing. Clear, reliable communication is very essential, especially having large crowds. If you go to any concert, there are security with radios on and headphones that are able to talk to each other about the event. Events must have a redundant communication system so responders and staff can share accurate information quickly. Manley and Mincur 2020 emphasized this by noting communications are essential to overall success and sustainability of your team. Common tools include interoperable radios, mobile communication units, command posts, and mass notification systems. Public communication through social media, PA systems, or alerts must be timely and accessible, including for individuals with disabilities or language barriers. Strong communication reduces confusion and maintains situational awareness before, during, and after an incident. Resource management, logistics, and crowd safety. Resource management ensures that medical supplies, security equipment, and barricades, shelters, and staff are available and properly assigned. Using ICS resource typing and inventory systems helps track what is available or needed. Mutual aid agreements offer backup support from nearby agencies. Crowd management is a major concern. Planners analyze crowd flow, entry and exit points, potential choke points, and areas of high congestion. Crowd modeling software can also help plan these risky patterns. Once a crowd is out of control, restoring order and protecting life is a tremendous task. Bishop 2020. Emergency response and post-event evaluation. Emergency response procedures outline exactly what to do for fire, severe weather, medical emergencies, security threats, or hazardous materials incidents. Meta and Una 2025 state, planning for large-scale special events is a critical aspect of public safety with risks of multi-casual incidents. Training and drills validate the plan and prepare staff quickly to work quickly under pressure. After the event, recovery efforts restore normal operations and ensure accurate documentation. Post-event evaluations after action reports identify what has worked and what needs to be improved. Feedback from the staff, responders, and attendees strengthen to make future planning way better and improves the resilience. In conclusion, incident management planning for large events requires coordinated effort across all the agencies, strong communication systems, accurate risk assessments, effective crowd and resource management, a unified command structure, and continuous evaluation help ensure safer events and more prepared communities with comprehensive planning and collaboration events that can run smoothly while protecting the safety and experience of all attendees. With all that being said, we have talked about all of the emergency response for large events and emergency operation plans. These two can go hand in hand because every operation plan needs a plan to succeed. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.